Hello. Hello chat. Hello everyone. So today's stream is going to be a little bit different. Unlike a lot of my other previous streams where I mainly just shot the shit with a couple friends and stuff like that, I think we're going to go back towards, or at least for now, for tonight's stream, we're going to go back to a little bit more of an organized thing, a little bit more of something that I used to do. I feel like I should probably redo that. Where Flavio? I have no idea. You know what? I think I'm gonna redo that real quick because I'm retarded and where's that obnoxious Hispanic kid? So, just to address it real quick, because there are clearly some people in the audience who are curious about that. Um, Flavio is currently gone for a bit. He was deported by ICE, and so he won't be on the stream for at least a little while. So in the time that he's going to take to to go through the rounds and come back from being stolen away from his beautiful country by ICE, we're going to go back to a bit more of the more structured streams rather than just shooting the shit and fucking around. So I put a bit of effort into this. We got a bit of a slideshow. We got some things to talk about. Um, but anyway, let's begin with just some things that I wanted to start with. Marathon is a game that I have been fairly interested in for a long time, ever since the first reveal, I think around 2 years ago. And I'm excited to see where the game goes, and so I want to discuss several elements of the game, whether that is, the gameplay, whether that's the aesthetics, the things I like, the things I don't like. But before we get into that, this is something that I've wanted to mention for a little while. I'm just going to use this as background gameplay real quick. I want to talk about my thoughts on Destiny for the foreseeable future and in terms of like actually covering Destiny. So, I don't really feel like I'm going to be covering Destiny for the foreseeable future. I know I made a video on it, but I'm not even like really playing Destiny anymore. I'm not playing it. I'm not really covering it, mainly just because I don't have any interest in this game anymore. At this point, I'm of the opinion that Destiny's just kind of fucked. Um, I think that Destiny's like pretty much dead. There's nothing else to say about this game. It's just the same repeated shit. Oh wow. Oh wow, Wow, we told you the game's fucked. We told you the game's bad. Wow, yeah, thank you so much. Uh, but yeah, the game is pretty much fucked at this point. There's no saving it. It's just gonna be the same shit that we've seen a million fucking times. And so, instead of constantly bitching and complaining about something that will never get better, let's bitch and complain about other things. Make a video on Project Zomboid. I will get right on. I will get right on that, dude. I will make a 13-hour long video on Project Zomboid featuring my boy Skrakes. We will do that. We will do that. Um, yeah, so I just wanted to get that out of the way real quick. If anyone is wondering about the Lightfall video, that Lightfall video has been indefinitely postponed. I do not want to work on it. I do not like working on it. I haven't really cared about making Destiny videos since my Beyond Light video, and I was kind of just doing it because I felt like I was somewhat obligated to do it. So, with that out of the way, I just wanted to, get that out there really quick and get that through. I want to now focus on talking about Marathon. So, today, we're going to be talking about Marathon. My thoughts and impressions on Bungie's newest game. Is this going to be on the test? Yes, this is going to be on the test. So, welcome to the stream. 6-7. So, what is Marathon? Marathon is an extraction shooter from Bungie. It's their new game, their brand new game. Fuck. I'm so good at this, guys. I know exactly what I'm doing, okay? I know exactly what I'm doing. So, Marathon is Bungie's newest game. They're using an IP that they've had since the 90s, which is Marathon. Marathon originally was a single player game where you went around shooting shit and that was really all you did. Hey Nanokk, can you come over here for a second? Yeah. What's up, buddy? What's up? What's going on? Might want to get through this quick because like I have a slideshow to talk about. Do you know it? Yeah, I know it. Am I it? You got it? Awesome. Thank you. I got it. Okay. So in Marathon, you kind of just shot shit, and now Marathon has changed from a somewhat vaguely story driven game where you kind of just shot random aliens to an extraction shooter that is also vaguely story oriented. Anyway, in this game, you're going to be it's pretty much just an extraction shooter. If you've played Tarkov, if you've played Delta Force, if you've played DMZ, if you've played Arc Raiders, it's the same genre. That's basically what Marathon is going to be. Some people are very divisive when it comes to extraction shooters. Some people really like them. Some people are indifferent, and some people really fucking hate them. I'm kind of in the indifferent camp. I think the only extraction shooters I really played was I think I played like a couple rounds of DMZ, a couple rounds of Delta Force, and a couple rounds of Arc Raiders during the playtest. I don't have a ton of experience with extraction shooters, so this is kind of going to be a start for me in this genre. So the next thing I wanted to discuss is, have I played it? I actually have played it. I played it during the playtest in October, I believe. It was a pretty short playtest. I got to play it for around, I think it was just under 2 weeks, and I put about 10 hours into the game. And this is kind of where I wanted to have the bulk of the discussion is after playing the game, after playing it for so long and discussing it and really being a part of it, what do I think about it? And do I think it's something that you should be interested in and, be a game that you should possibly play? So after playing Marathon for about 10 hours, I walked away, I started um, going into this whole thing being kind of resentful towards Marathon. The big issue I had with the game was it was taking away resources from Destiny, and it felt like it was kind of directionless and kind of flopping, and they didn't really know what the fuck they wanted. And so I was really upset and resentful because I was like, here's this game, Destiny, that I really like, and tons of resources are being pulled away from it so that Marathon can be made. But after we've seen that Bungie literally doesn't know what to do with the game at all, and they just seem to be spinning their wheels for the past like 5 fucking years, I don't really care what happens, and I'm more interested in this game. Going into the playtest, I was kind of hesitant, but overall excited to see what they would do with the game. And after those 10 hours, I walked away very enthusiastic about the game and eventually pre ordering it once it became available. And so, will I talk about it? Will I make a video on it? Most likely. I will most likely make a video on it. What? Sorry. It's a topic that I am fairly interested in, and I mean, if it's anything like what I've already played, if it's anything like the playtest that I went through, chances are I'm gonna buy it, or I'm gonna make a review on it. There's a pretty good chance. Anyway, so my first impressions, mainly in regards to the gameplay, the moment-to-moment gameplay is very good. It was a lot of fun. I liked a lot of the a lot of the shooting elements shooting guns felt very good. Moving felt pretty good for the most part. Movement was pretty good. The time to kill was a bit fast to me. I felt like it really didn't take very long for you to die in a gunfight. It didn't really feel like there was a lot of retaliating a lot of the time. So like it kind of just seemed, while there was still room for it, it really seemed like a lot of the fights were determined by who shot first, which isn't really a great thing for an extraction shooter. Normally, you would want the time to kill to be a bit longer, but that also results in longer battles, which can result in third partying. So maybe there's just a better balance that Bungie needs to strike. Now, that could most certainly be changed over time. It's probably something that's been updated. But as of me playing, that wasn't really a factor. Those things weren't really appearing where I was like, oh, yeah, uh, the time to kill feels really good. It just always felt too quick. And I feel like I was dying a bit too fast a lot of the time. The visuals compared to the alpha were a lot better. They were so much better. It was actually kind of crazy how much better the game looked. If we take a look at, where's the developer live stream? They just had it here. Are you fucking... Here it is.
Since Halo 3, the one, the only Mr.
Can we get here? Can we look at the game? So here when we look at the game, it looks pretty like gray. It looks pretty gray and sterile, to be honest. It's just like, yeah, it doesn't look all that great. Of course they're showing off some heavier colors here, but overall it feels very muted. Everything feels like super muted. When we go to the game in current day, the game is much more colorful, right? Like, look at this. It looks way more colorful. It's way more vibrant. A lot of the colors pop through a lot more. And you can also see a lot more like dirt and grime on the ground. So it kind of matches that really clean corporate aesthetic with something a little bit more like dead and barren. Why are you talking about this and not helping liberate Cyberstan? Shut the fuck up. Hello, Warlock Spider. But yeah, so the game as of now looks really good, and that's something that I want to emphasize. When I played the game was like 16 gigabytes, and it looks so fucking good for a 16 gigabyte game. Like, this looks great, okay? Let's just be very clear. This game looks fucking fantastic for 16 gigabytes and for running on Bungie's Tiger engine, which is like 20 years old at this point. It is a very old engine, and this game looks fantastic, and it runs fantastic too. It looks fucking great, and it runs great. I have an older machine. Keep in mind, my computer is about 5 years old, and man, it runs fucking fantastic. So I was really surprised that the game was running as good as it was and looked as good as it did. The music is also really, really good. This live stream that I'm doing is going to be turned into a video, so you're going to be hearing the music in the background, but the music is fucking fantastic. Some of it just got uploaded to Spotify, so if you go on Bungie's Twitter, I think they'll show you the music and stuff, so that'll be kind of interesting. I'm tempted on buying this game. I mean, Arc Raiders made me interested in extraction shooters. Still salty that we can't customize our runner's look. That is something I'll get into. Honestly, I played both the playtest for Marathon and for Arc Raiders. I actually thought that Arc Raiders was a lot slower and a lot more boring. I found that far too often we were being jumped by random fucking players, and that we were just spending time whittling down health on enemies. You are not going to have that in Marathon. In Marathon, enemies are like, they're not pushovers. They're definitely going to be very difficult to fight, but you're not going to be sitting there pumping fucking ammo into them for 20 minutes. You're going to be killing shit at a fairly good rate, and you're not going to have like tons of third parties running up to you, because once everyone spawns in a game, that's it. Unless you have rooks, which I also want to talk about. What sets this apart from other games in a genre? What can I clamp down on as a normal gamer? I think one of the biggest things that you can focus on is mainly in regards to a few things. For one, the runners. I think the runners are going to add a good amount in terms of like their different play styles. So you have some that are more focused on mobility, some that are more focused on sneaking around, some that are medics. It's something you don't really have in the extraction genre at the moment. On top of that, I think a big thing that this game is going to have is character customization on a combat level. There are a lot of what are called like cores, and those cores can range from, just like better, they can range from like super basic to better movement or faster reload speed, all the way to when you melee kill someone, you go invisible. Like, those are really fucking cool. The same goes with weapons. You can get some weapons that can get a core on them that when you shoot an enemy a whole bunch of times, they like explode, kind of like a needler from Halo. Arc Raiders is decent, but the PvP is a bit one-sided. Also, due to the updated matchmaking, I rarely ran into PvPers due to I rarely ran into players due to how passive-aggressive I play. Yeah, that's another thing. This game is not going to have aggression-based matchmaking. It is also a very PvP-focused game. Bungie is very much encouraging the idea that people are going to shoot you on sight. While proximity chat is available for you to work with other people, it's not going to be like Arc Raiders where people are going to be like, hey man, don't shoot, don't shoot. No, people are going to fucking unload their entire gun into your face the moment they see you. All right? If Arc Raiders is the more like passive sort of game, this one is the competitive game. All right? Technically you could say that like Tarkov is the more competitive one, but I'd say this is a bit more of the streamlined one, right? If Arma is kind of the very in-depth but clunky version of the game, like clunky version of an extraction shooter, Marathon is the kind of clean, accessible version of a competitive extraction shooter. So if you like going in and mercilessly gunning people down and ruining people's runs and stealing as much shit as you can, this is going to be the game for that. If you're someone who wants a more chill experience where, oh, I can kind of just like, kick back and hope I don't run into anyone who's going to face fuck me and, steal all my shit, this might not be the game for you. I think Bungie has already announced that they're not going to be having like a PvE only version, which I do kind of like. I do kind of like that they're not just like, hey, yeah, go in the shallow end. I like that they're throwing you into the deep end and saying, learn how to swim. I kind of do like that myself because that puts everyone in the same position. And does that mean that some people are going to be kind of left behind? Sure. There are elements that are going to allow you to get up from that, but I don't think there's anything wrong with kind of throwing people into the deep end and saying, all right, figure it out. I think that not enough games do that now, and I think that this is going to be a good thing to have myself. I mean, the world of Marathon is merciless. It's every runner for themselves. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. Like this world is fucking brutal, and the gameplay reflects that. And that was something I really liked about the game. So yeah, the strengths are the gameplay, the visuals, the music. I would also say stuff like the gameplay customization in terms of how you can customize your guns and your characters. That's a huge that's a huge benefit to the game. It's something I think is really, really good about it. I'd say like when it comes to customization, the character customization is a little bit weak, but we'll get to that in a minute. I also think the factions are really cool. You have a wide variety of really interesting factions, ranging from, the Antifa crazy fucking anarchist kind of guys to we are a complete corporate business that will rip off your limbs to sell them for a profit. And these are all factions that you can join, which I'll talk about them a little bit more in a little bit. So yeah, these are the main strengths of the game. They have a lot of there's a lot of really great qualities to the game going in that I noticed from playing it. And something I also want to mention as well, it's a little bit anecdotal, but when the playtest finished, I actually was kind of sad because I wanted to play the game more. I really wanted to get the game back in my hands so I could keep playing it, but unfortunately my time was up. And I think that's a good sign. I think the fact that I wanted to keep playing, the fact that I wanted to stay in there for as long as possible, but I couldn't, is a very good thing. And it's a very good sign that the game was pulling me in. I want to talk about some weaknesses, though. The risk and reward factor can sometimes not feel super worth it, mainly for the purpose of the time to kill. As I mentioned before, the time to kill is really fucking quick. You are going to die very fast if you do not have shield, which, by the way, you don't start with. You do not start with shield. There is a very good chance that you could get completely fucked in like a gunfight, and you could lose all of your shit in a matter of like 10 seconds. All your shit could be done for. If you're not going in with shields, you're basically fucked. You need to find them, right? These are things you need to gun for. And that's partially why I have a bit of an issue with the risk and reward factor, because that can really feel shitty. I had to jump through so many hoops to leave a comment here. What the fuck do you mean? Anyway, I feel like one of the big issues when I was playing, at least, was if you didn't bring, like, at minimum a shield, chances are if you bring anything semi-valuable on you, it may as well be gone. Like, you will die so fucking fast in this game. The time to kill is so incredibly quick. And while that can be kind of good sometimes, it also kind of sucks for the early game when you're not really running around with a whole lot. Chances are you're going to lose all your shit really fast if you're not super aggressive and if you're not good with your aim. Now, personally, I don't mind that myself because, again, I kind of like that this game is throwing you in the deep end and saying learn how to swim. But for a broader player audience, it could be a huge issue for a lot of people. The other weakness I wanted to talk about is the lack of ammo. This was a huge issue when I was playing. I had a run. One of the last runs that I played on the game was I had a gunfight with another team, and both of my teammates were dead like almost immediately. We got into a gunfight with a team very quickly. I managed to get away because they got into another gunfight with a bunch of the AI, so I managed to slip away. And all I was trying to do was extract. During that time where I was trying to navigate my way around and extract, I found more guns than I found ammo. I was to the point where I was dropping shit out of my inventory to keep a separate gun on me in case I ran out of ammo of the two guns I had, because there was so little ammo on the field. Enemies do not drop enough ammo, and there isn't enough ammo to reasonably find, and ammo is honestly fairly expensive. It's a bit of an issue. Now, of course, this was the criticism from a lot of people in the Marathon Discord, where you could leave your impressions and your thoughts and criticisms on the game. This was something that was hammered home quite a bit. So, I mean, I really hope that Bungie saw that criticism because it's something that they really should change. It might be one of my biggest criticisms of the core gameplay is just how little ammo I was finding. It was really annoying. The other issue I want to talk about is the cosmetics. The cosmetics for the game were really rough. There was a lot of talk that there was going to be like tons of different customization where you'd be able to change the arms, the legs, the head, and all that sort of stuff. You cannot do that in Marathon. That is not going to be a thing that you can do. You are going to have set skins for both your weapons and for your runners. There's not going to be changing any of that, which really sucks. I was kind of hoping that there was going to be a bit more variety in what you can equip, but that's unfortunately just not the case. So yeah, that really sucks to me. That's a huge letdown. There is some stuff about cosmetics tied to factions that I want to talk about later, but for the most part, it seems like it's just going to be stuff you're going to unlock in the game. That's just going to be like a static skin for your character. It's going to be stuff that you unlock throughout the game and stuff that you buy in the shop. That's pretty much all you're going to see. I mean, that destroyer looks sick along with the medic shell, but like I wanted some styles. There are going to be a decent amount of skins at launch. I think both free skins that come with the game and skins that you can purchase through a battle pass or the store or whatever the fuck. Personally, I kind of wish there was a bit more variety. I think that the medic looks kind of cool, but I feel like I would want to change a few things on the medic. I think the medic looks a little bit awkward in some places. Destroyer looks really cool. I think Recon looks fucking great. I love how Recon looks. Assassin looks really cool too. I think the skins look really cool. It's just I wish there were things that you would be able to like hyper customize a bit more. So it kind of sucks that that's not really a thing that you can do. Next, I want to talk about my main concerns because I do have a few main concerns in regards to the game. So the first thing I want to really discuss is longevity. I really hope that Bungie has a really solid plan for this game. Damn it, am I too late? You are not too late. You are not too late, my friend. I am kind of worried about the longevity of this game. I really hope that Bungie has a solid plan because genuinely, if they don't, they're fucked. This game cannot, like, this has to be a game that can't be solved in like a week. Because that's one big issue with Destiny. When a Destiny expansion comes out, it's solved like by week 1 or 2. And, you know, everyone has done everything. This needs to be a game where people are still figuring shit out and people are still learning new things by like month 1 or month 2. There needs to, like, this can't be a solved game immediately, because that is a huge issue. If it gets to the point where the game is figured out, everyone knows what to do, everyone knows exactly what to do all the time, all the secrets have been unlocked, and there's nothing new to explore or discover or anything like that, we're fucked. This game is going to drop off quickly. This has to have longevity. Now, I think it does have a certain amount of longevity because we have, like, we're going to have 4 maps at launch, 2 of which you have to unlock later on. It's a marathon, not a sprint. I am cooking. Fucking God, shut up. $40 and microtransactions, and it being Bungie, they'd have to change it just as much as something like Fortnite. You see, the thing is, there's going to be 4 maps at launch, 2 that are going to be available immediately, 1 that unlocks at level 15, and 1 that unlocks much later than that. So there is going to be so the game is being, like, artificially extended through level barriers to unlocking certain areas, which is not a bad thing in my opinion. I don't think all the maps should be accessible immediately, especially since they get more difficult as time goes on. Like, as far as I know, the 3rd map, the one you unlock at level 15, there are a lot more environmental disasters. There are a lot more really strong enemies, and it's a lot easier to get yourself killed. So making it so that players need to explore the smaller areas first is not a bad thing. I think it's a good thing. And the other one, the one on the marathon ship, from the looks of it, it looks like it's going to be the 3rd map, like, times 4. So I personally don't mind it being a bit more difficult, and I think it being an extraction shooter is going to extend things, is going to make it so that, you're not going to be able to unlock everything in a matter of, like, a couple weeks. But we'll see. We'll see. That's like one of my biggest concerns about the game. Another huge concern I have is the overall style of the game, right? When you look at the game, I personally really like the style. I really like how it looks. I think it's a beautiful fucking game. I think the character models are really cool. I think the music is really cool. I think the designs are really cool. But I'm not everyone, I'm not everyone. I don't know how this will appeal to the average person, because I'm going to be honest, I don't really feel like the average person now. I don't know, but I don't know what the average person is going to think about this game. I think when it came to games like Apex Legends, when that came out, I think that the style was different, but also, still similar to other things they know, that they were kind of fine with it. But I don't know if this is too much of a stray from what people know and what people are familiar with for it to be a problem. You know what I mean? I don't know if the fact that the game looks a bit too different is going to be a problem for people getting into it. I hope it's not, but I've already seen people on Twitter who honestly were kind of out to get this game from the start and were very much not in favor of this game from the get-go, saying that it looked very ugly, right? Saying that the character models were very ugly and all that other shit. Actually, I want to see if I can pull it up here. I have it on Discord here. I have there are some insane screenshots I want to show here. So this is a guy's video, okay? This is someone's video on Marathon. Now, I'm zooming in a lot, so it's kind of artifacted to shit. Casual gamers normally follow. If all the people around me are playing it, my favorite streamers are playing it, then I'm going to play it too, especially if there's funny moments. Yeah, I can agree with that. But, like, what I mean by that is, like, when fuck, why is it blanking in my head? When Apex Legends came out, the guys who play NBA 2K were playing it, right? They were fine with how things looked. Are the NBA 2K guys going to be cool with this game? That's what I wonder, personally, I don't really think so. The character models have actually grown me over the years. Yeah, honestly, I really like them. They're, like, controlled chaos that I really like. Um, but yeah, I do agree with the with if the streamers are playing it too. Burnt Peanut recently played the game and it seemed like he was enjoying it. Now again, keep in mind that was a sponsored stream, but it did really seem like he was enjoying the game. And um he's someone who likes extraction shooters. They just want another Concord, folks. Folks like those just want to see it fall. Yeah, this guy, he's a YouTuber named Dr. Disaster, and this guy is like kind of a fucking loser, I'm not gonna lie. It doesn't help that he uses a lot of like AI thumbnails for a lot of his videos, right? It looks like total dog shit. But yeah, this was something here. Bungie removes marathon gameplay leaks out of embarrassment, but they leave the positive feedback leaks. They weren't like the thing is with this is like a really disingenuous title. They were removing videos of the game, but people saying that they didn't like the game, Bungie wasn't removing that. They also weren't removing the people who were talking positively about it. What they were removing was the people who were showing footage that they already said they literally made you sign an NDA that said you cannot show any footage of this game or we will delete your Bungie account and we will take down the footage. Of course they're going to remove gameplay leaks. They signed an NDA about it. So this guy's a complete disingenuous piece of shit. But yeah, so people like this, you're never going to convince. People like this are fucking gooner retards who want the characters to be half naked with their tits hanging out. That's what these guys want. These people you will never appease. You will never ever appease them. Another person who we're never going to appease and we're just going to have to settle with is people like this Pirate Nation guy. He genuinely just wants the game to fail. I mean, you know, is it like any more obvious that this is what this guy wants? You know? He's been saying this for so long now. He just keeps saying it. Why don't they just cancel Marathon? People like this you just can't convince. Just curious, is the NDA over or is it still active? They did not specify when it was over. I assume the NDA is over when the game releases. That's what I assume, right? Now listen, I may or may not have some footage of the game. Definitely don't. I definitely don't have footage saved of the game from the playtest. But I'm going to respect the NDA until the game comes out because I don't want my Bungie account deleted. I don't want like my 10-year-old Bungie account to get deleted. Do you think Darkside Royalty, aka Joker from Destiny 2, wants Marathon to fail? I've spoken with him personally about it. I have spoken to Joker directly about this. I don't think he wants it to fail. I like genuinely after talking to him about it, I don't think like I like DM'd him about it. I don't think he wants Marathon to fail. I think just what he's talking, basically what he's been talking about on Twitter is that like people are acting like there are some people like completely coping acting like Marathon is not taken away from Destiny 2 at all. Marathon is absolutely taken away from Destiny 2 and Marathon has been a factor in Destiny 2 slowly falling apart. And I do agree with him on that. That's where I think he's going to. Friends that I know hate that dude. I mean, he can be rough, but he does care for it. No, genuinely, like, I'm going to be honest, talking to him, I feel like a lot of people just kind of misinterpret what he says because he like, of course, I don't agree with him on everything, right? I don't agree with Joker on everything, but I don't think he's a bad person. I don't think he's out to get this game. I don't think he hates Destiny or Marathon at all. I just think he has some very strong opinions that people just don't like. People don't like that he's, just like attacking their sacred cow in a way that no one else really is. But no, he doesn't hate Destiny at all. I've spoken with him passionately about Destiny. He is equally as passionate about Destiny as anyone else is. He's just more critical. And it's not out of hating the game, it's out of wanting it to get better. He's like, he's not as bad as everyone says he is, genuinely. So my overall thoughts on Marathon is going to be a little bit difficult because I am genuinely fairly biased. I want this game to succeed. I want it to be successful. I did watch some of his videos, but man, he does not hold anything back. Yeah, no, he doesn't sugarcoat it at all. Um, but yeah, I want to make it very clear that I am very biased, right? Originally, I hated this game. I did not want it to succeed, and I wanted it to fail. After playing it, that's a different story. I am very much in favor of this game succeeding. I want it to be successful, and I want it to be good. All right? So I want to make my biases very clear because you should take that into consideration when I say I think this game is worth buying. All right? I think as of right now, if you're interested in the game, it's $40 fucking dollars. It's $40. It's not a $60 game, it's $40. And the server slam is coming soon, and it's going to be free to play. I would highly recommend if you're interested in giving it a shot. Take a look at this game. If you are interested, play it. The moment-to-moment gameplay is good, although I think time to kill is a little bit fast. The longevity of the game, to me, is kind of uncertain. If things are solved in 2 weeks, we're kind of fucked. If things take a month or 2 months, we're in a much better spot. The environments look and feel amazing. Movement feels great. Going through the environments feels great. Something I didn't include here is the AI. The AI is not a pushover. It's definitely going to fuck with you, but it's not overly powerful, and they're not bullet sponges or whatsoever. You're not going to be sitting there like you do in Arc Raiders plinking at an enemy for 30 fucking minutes. You're going to be killing things at a fairly fast rate, and they're also going to kill you at a fairly fast rate. The flow of a match is kind of awkward. You can have matches where absolutely nothing happens and matches where a ton of shit happens. It really just depends on where you are at whatever time. I've had entire matches where literally we didn't run into anyone. And I've had matches where the entire lobby was on top of us. It really just depends how it goes. The end game, I didn't really get to play a lot of. I got to play the third map once, and it wasn't really enough to gauge anything. I did hear that there was going to be a ranked mode, so if you're interested in ranked and a more competitive side of the game, then that's going to be for you. But so far, the way that the end game is looking is you have 2 beginner maps, an intermediate map, and an end game map for those who want the big rewards. Some of the end game things are also going to be finding new areas, like unlocking certain things. There's talks about certain puzzles that are going to be unlocked and areas that are going to be locked away unless you really go out and look for them. And you have all these key cards that you need to get. So in that case, that can increase the longevity and it can increase the end game. Maybe you have a lot of really good shit where now you and your team is like, you know what? I want to focus on finding these secrets. I want to focus on finding this lore. That could be a part of the end game as well. So in terms of that, I think that it's uncertain, but I will definitely be giving the end game a shot. The story so far is fairly interesting to me. I think the premise has really hooked me, and I think that the story could be very interesting, but whether it is well executed or not, that could be a whole other thing. If it's just going to be reading fucking like lore entries and grimoire cards, I'm not a big fan of that. I'm going to be needing some stuff like cinematics, like voice logs, something like, big story events in game, something more than just stuff I read on a fucking terminal. I don't see a world where this game isn't solved if it's on PC. Then people will get into the game, leak gun stats, POI spawns, and future content. I really hope Bungie cracks the fuck down on like stuff getting leaked, because yeah, that's gonna be like the bane of this fucking game. Now, do I think that most people are gonna be looking at leaks? No, but I think the fucking retards on Twitter, like all like the news accounts, are fucking pathetic and complete losers. A lot of these like Destiny Bulletin, for example, these fucking retards will literally just spam leaks on Twitter of the game when it's not what you want to see at all, and then other people retweet it, which doesn't help the game at all whatsoever. So hopefully they can crack down on that. It's live service, it's going to happen, but I hope it at least doesn't happen for the first little while, right? I hope they can encrypt their shit well enough so that it doesn't happen, because that could be a huge problem. And I know for a fact, yeah, these fucking news leeches are going to post every single little thing they can for a couple more fucking Twitter followers. It's really pathetic, but that's kind of just the landscape we're in, and that sucks. The visuals and the sound are absolutely beautiful. I love it. It's great. It's wonderful. The music is really cool and different. It's kind of like earwormy. I really fuck with it. I really like it. And the visuals are fucking fantastic. And I love it. It's great. So, that's pretty much all I have to say about it. Thank you for looking at this stupid ass presentation. Now we're going to go on to questions, opening or closing statements, and rubbing my burning nuts across your face. Everything about Marathon IMO is amazing. I can definitely see where you come from with that. Thank God I didn't miss anything, based as always. Thank you, thank you. Like these cinematics that you see here, like this stuff.
Your community outreach liaison.
I
It's
really
a
hope this
lovely
is
day
kind of
outside.
something that we get in game.
It's quiet. Very quiet. Rainfall is expected to begin in the early afternoon and last until a long time. For those who did not wake.
So like if this is going to be kind of like the vibe of the game, if this is what the story is going to be like, I'm all here for it. I'm all fucking here for it. But what I'm really worried about, content delivery post-launch, because Bungie has always sucked with that. I'm going to be honest, Bungie has a fairly I don't think this is going to be like Destiny, right? I don't think this is going to be like Destiny at all. I think they have a fairly good team on this. You know, I think the team working on Marathon is fairly strong. I would hope they have a lot of stuff that they're going to be releasing post-launch. If they don't, yeah, they're completely fucked. But I think, you know, I really do hope that they're going to have a good amount of stuff post-launch, like maybe new runners or a new map. Honestly, I'd prefer a new map over new runners myself. But yeah, we'll just have to see. You know, we'll just have to see how they treat post-launch, especially because this is a live service game. In terms of player numbers, honestly, I think this game is probably going to hit. Maybe this is a bit too confident, but I think this game is probably going to hit over 200,000 players on launch. And maybe like in the first week, it's going to have about 200,000 players. And I could see this game averaging probably like 100K for the first little while. Maybe like, you know, at least like for the first seasonal area, as long as they don't take too long, I could probably see like 100K during launch. Now, whether that'll stick around, I have no idea. Is that overconfident? Very possibly. It very possibly is overconfident. But I don't know. I think that the rumors that, or, you know, the people saying that this game is going to be Concord 3 or whatever, I don't think that's going to happen at all. This game would have to be a colossal failure for it to, you know, fail, like for that to happen. And I don't think that's going to happen. Steam best sellers. Right now. If you go to the top sellers list, where is Marathon? Because I think it is on here still. I think. I have no idea. Yeah, so Marathon is still in the top sellers list. You know? Let's keep that in mind here. Yeah, 55 titles have been excluded based on your preferences. Those are like porn games, right? So let's just be clear about that. But Marathon is still in the top sellers list. It is still here. So, you know, I don't think this game is going to fail. The fact that this game is still here shows that there are still people who are interested in it. Bro hates fun. No, I'm just not a fucking degenerate gooner. But yeah, I don't think this game is going to be Concord 3 at all. I think the people who are saying it's going to be Concord 3 are people who want it to be Concord 3. They're just like disingenuous, honestly. I don't think there's any chance that this game is going to be Concord 3 whatsoever. I mean, the first day that the game became available for pre-orders, it reached like the top 5 on the bestsellers list. I think that basically excludes you from being Concord 2. Bungie has invested way too much time in this, and they're not a studio that gives up, right? They're not a studio that gives up easily. They will give up, but it's going to take fucking years for them to give up. So I think any chance of this game being a Concord 3 is completely out of the question. And yeah, I think that's it. And you know, if they do end up calling it a Concord 3, they would also have to be calling Battlefield 6 like a Concord 4, because that game is struggling right now in terms of its launch numbers compared to now. It is doing fucking rough. But you know, they're not bringing that up. They're not talking about that. They're not talking about the game is doing fucking rough right now. They won't discuss that. But they will discuss, you know, this game if it does reach lower numbers. And they'll call it Concord 3 even like 3 months after launch. But anyway, that's pretty much all I had to say. A few other things as well. Do I think this game is going to be do I think this game is going to beat Arc Raiders? No. I do not think that Marathon is going to beat Arc Raiders. Arc Raiders is in a pretty special spot, honestly. Arc Raiders does not look like a game that is going to be overtaken by Marathon. It's just way too strong. It's way too good for a casual audience. It's good for a competitive audience. This game does not look like it's going to be good for casuals. We'll see, but you know, it's not great for that. I'm also not even mad about the Shadow and Order delay, to be honest. I think the stuff announced that will come with it due to the delay is enough. I think that the game is in a decent state-ish compared. You know what? I'll talk about Destiny for a little bit. I don't really talk about Destiny, and I said I wouldn't do it anymore, but I'll talk about it. You know what? I don't fucking care, man. I think that the Portal absolutely fucking killed Destiny, and Bungie has showed no signs of wanting to remove it, so I don't really give a fuck. I think them taking all of the dungeon and raid stuff and, you know, giving it tiered weapons is nice, but it's something that I think they should have done day one. I don't think it's something that they should be doing like a year after launch. And I think it being pushed back only to me proves it even more that this game just needs to be put in kind of like a small quality of life improvement and like just small bug fixes for now, you know? I don't think that Destiny 2 is really a priority, and nor do I think it should be right now. I think that they kind of just they kind of need to let the game stay as it is, maybe put everything into an affordable bundle for people so that they can jump into the game and play it for the few people who still for some reason want to. But I think the issue is right now is that the reputation of Destiny 2 is so bad that no one's going to come to the game and play it new. The game is not set up for new players. The game is set up for people who have been playing for years, and the people who have been playing for years don't want to play the game anymore. Like, unless they fix the new player experience, there's nothing they can do. The game's fucked. Like, it truly is over. It is completely fucking over for Destiny 2. And yeah, it is absolutely Bungie's fault. And whether, you know, I'm going to be honest, a lot of people saying, "Oh, they're leaving, you know, Destiny 2 behind for Marathon." Yeah, they are. And I don't really care. We've had like 8 years now with Destiny 2. Move on. It's over. The good times that you had on this game aren't going to happen anymore. You've done everything you can in that game. There is nothing new. That's it. It's time to move on. All right? That's all I really have to say about Destiny 2 is that, you know, it is, I think now more than ever, it is time to move on. If you're really thinking that the game is going to get better with these quality of life additions, man, I don't know what the fuck to tell you. But the game is bleeding players, and the only people who are playing the game are people who have been playing for a long time. They're not bringing in new players. The new player experience is so bad. It is so unbelievably bad. Unless you don't have if you don't have a veteran player sherping you through the game, there's no chance that you're going to understand what the fuck is going on at all. And I think that this is a chance for Bungie to really gain a better reputation because they desperately need it right now. They desperately need a better reputation. And I think if this game is successful, I think we will see a Destiny 3. You know? I think if this game does well, if, if it's if the game gets good reviews, if it has a good reputation, if it continues to hold players for a long time, I think that Bungie could make a comeback, and I think it could be really good for a possible Destiny 3. But at the moment, Destiny is kind of in a pretty stagnant place, and I think that's okay. I think it's time for people to move on and just kind of go a different way. I'm one of the newcomers to Destiny 2, and I'd say the game feels like a high budget mobile game. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. It pretty much is a high budget mobile game. I mean, to be honest, I play Destiny every once in a while to do like a dungeon or something, but I'm not playing the game to play the portal. That's honestly, I think, what killed Renegades the most for me. Was I enjoyed the campaign, I enjoyed playing the new activity a little bit, but then when it came to the rest of the game and doing other stuff I wanted to do, it was like, great, now all I have is the portal. There's nothing else for me to do but the portal. This fucking blows. And so, I just don't care. But yeah, sorry to leave it off on the somewhat negative note, but yeah, that's kind of why I don't. No big A, no big A. We don't want that. Let's just keep going with this. Keep showing us marathon. But yeah, play the Server Slam when it comes out. The Server Slam. So, the Server Slam begins February 26th to March 2nd. All right? 6 days till the Server Slam. Why do you use the Opera browser? I don't know. Why are you gay? Haha. But yeah, the Server Slam is February 26th to March 2nd. So you have a bit of time to play the game, see if you like it. And if you do like it, I would recommend getting the game. But yeah, like, this is going to be the game in its finished state. Like, I think the only thing they're really going to be changing is like some server things, and that's it. I think that's the only thing that's going to change from the Server Slam. I'm counting down the days and weeks since the beginning of this year. Oh my god. But yeah, I am very excited for this game. I really hope it does well, and I hope the game is good. And chances are, you will most likely be seeing a review from me when the game launches. Maybe, I would say like a couple weeks after the game launches, you'll see a review from me. So that's the main things. Just to mention what's going to be in the Server Slam, just because it says it here real quick. You'll have 2 zones to play in, the Perimeter and Dire Marsh. These are the zones you get at the very beginning of the game. These are the more beginner areas. There are going to be 5 factions that you'll be able to play as: Cyber Acme, Nucleoric, Traxxas, Mida, and Arachne. Progress through the early faction levels and progression trees for each faction. So you're going to be able to mess around with that a bit. You're going to have 6 runner shells that will be available, plus scavenger experience with Rook. And so that's what you're going to be getting there, right? So this is basically like, this is what you're going to be getting in the Server Slam. This is kind of like Season 0. Then launch in Season 1 will bring additional maps, factions, contracts, gear, and more, including 2 new zones, which is Outpost, the one that you unlock at level 15, and the Cryo Archive, an endgame zone aboard the Derelict Marathon, unlocks Season 1, Thief, the 6th runner shell, progression for all 6 factions, ranked mode, which is unlocking in Season 1, and other secrets and surprises. So, that's what you're going to be getting with Marathon. I hope the Cryo Archive zones unlocked depending on community puzzle progress rather than seasonal drops or whatever. That was something that they talked about. I would like to see, what happens with that. Oh, here's another thing as well. If you're playing on PS5 with PlayStation Plus at launch, you'll get access to a set of exclusive weapon charms inspired by Helldivers 2, Death Stranding 2, and Ghosts of Yotei. So here are your special charms that you can get on your gun. Thoughts on Vox engines? Fucking horrible. But yeah. So, I hope you all are excited for Marathon. If not, check out the Server Slam if you're interested. Test out the game. And yeah. So that's pretty much all for tonight's stream. That's all I really wanted to do, just a very brief stream. I'll probably turn this into a video, so say hi, YouTube. Say hi, everyone. Dude, I can't believe we lost the Cyberstand fight. I was grinding it with some friends. I played it a little bit. I played a little bit with my boy Skrakes. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching. This will be a video somewhat soon. So yeah. I hope you all have a wonderful night. I'm going to go relax and probably play some Helldivers with some friends. Thank you. Bye now. Let's see. I should pick a song for, you know what? This is a song I'm going to use for the outro. Okay. See you later, fuckers.
I said you need me now.
Oh, I'm a fucking idiot. I really fucked that up, didn't I? YouTube let me say bubble. Goodbye!